Can a simple one-client business 10x your 9-to-5 income? The answer is yes. I went from $0 to $20,000 per month with this one-client business model. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how, with this model, everyday people are able to leave their 9-to-5 and make 5 figures per month from home with time and location freedom, all while avoiding the risks and the complexity of starting a traditional online business. But first, I need to show you a big shift that's happening in the market right now and why, as a beginner, starting a traditional online business is a complete trap and it does not work. So, essentially, this is when you go online, this is what most people are telling you to do. Hey, start an agency, start an e-com business, low ticket course business, right? Or start a coaching consulting business. These are the traditional online business that, that are most popular out there, or some form of this, okay? Now, here's what they don't tell you. When you are a beginner and you attempt to start one of these business, it's pretty much like you want to get into climbing, and after you're finishing your climbing training, the first mountain you want to climb is the Mount Everest. It's crazy, right? It's like that's the first thing you want to do. It's too big. But I did it. I wasted 2 years trying this method and it didn't work. And here's why. Number one, when you attempt to start one of these businesses, here's essentially what you're trying to do. You're building a very, very complex castle, a very, very complex building, because these businesses has multiple departments that need to be turned on, running very well oiled for the entire business to work. The first thing is you need to have an offer. Pretty much you're familiar with this. Like you need to know what is the target audience that you want to go for, what's going to be your packaging, like what is going to be the specific problem, the specific solution, the unique way in which you're going to stand out from the market. That's going to be your offer. Then you need to work on the pricing. You need to have a pricing strategy, etc. Offer. That is just one thing that you need to work on. And then you need to continue to refine and develop as the company grow and as you evolve. Then once we have an offer, now we need to market that offer. We need to bring eyeballs. And you have to decide if you're going to do ads or you're going to do organic marketing, right? If you run ads, you have to run ads. You need to learn how to run ads. You need to turn on retargeting as well. You need to build a funnel to send all this traffic. You need to connect it to an email campaign so that you can continue to nurture the leads that come from ads. You have marketing costs, meaning you need to have money to invest on ads. That's just on the marketing side. If you go organic, you need to come up with ideas for content. Depending on the platform, you need to adapt to the format of the platform. You need to work on the packaging to increase the CTR. So most people watch the first minutes of that content. You got to work on the outlining, the scripting of these pieces of content. It's not about just winging it, right? Then you need to record the content. Then you need to edit the content. Then you need to distribute the content. You need to optimize the content. So either or, you see the work that is involved and the cost as well that is involved just in the marketing department. But that is not all. Marketing is not enough. We need sales. We need to turn those eyeballs and that interest into sales. So if you're going to build one of these businesses and you really want to scale it big, you're going to have to generate appointments. You're going to have to bring setters, or maybe you are going to have to do this setter role. You have to close these clients, because if you're going for the online business model with high profit margin, you're going to sell high ticket. High ticket is closed on meetings. So you need to book meetings. You need to manage the CRM as well for those people that don't close. So you continue to nurture them. You see what's happening here? It's a lot, right? Client delivery. If you go with the agency model, where the way it works, well, not only agency model, also the coaching consulting, the way it works is you constantly need to acquire new clients every single day, especially high ticket ones. You need to onboard them. You need to manage them. You need to manage the expectations. You need to manage the relationship. You need to manage the experience these clients are having. You need to make sure they get results. Once they get results, you need to make sure you get reviews. And if they don't get results, you need to handle negative reviews. It's all about client management. You need to control the churn and make sure you have healthy churn. Delivery cost. As you get more and more clients, you need people here helping you with all of these tasks, right? And as you grow, now you start getting into team management, hiring, onboarding, training in all these different departments, right? Managing the team, meetings, day-to-day communication, reporting, performance, obstacles, because these are humans. They have obstacles, questions, and they need help. Then you need to manage firing and hiring. And that's just team. Then we have finance, payroll, accounting, P&L, managing the profits, etc. And this is what it felt like. For me, after 2 years trying, I was burnt out, I was exhausted, and I was like, there's got to be a better way, because I feel like I'm trying to learn climbing and I'm just attempting to climb Mount Everest, and it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. So what is this solo freelancer model? It's very simple. What we're doing is we're simplifying everything, and with that, we can remove, of course, we need to have an offer. We're going to get into that in a second, because we need to have something to articulate to the market and to articulate to this one client that we're going to get. But once we get the client, once we have a client, then you don't need marketing. You don't need a marketing department, because you don't need new clients. You don't need a sales department, because again, once you have your one client, you don't need more clients. We can cut in half the complexity of delivery because you're just managing one client. So this gets very simplified. You don't need team members. It's just you and your client. And there's no complexity on the finance side because everything is very simplified. Now, how all of this is possible? It's possible because of the high income skills market. We live in an era that a lot of people call it the digital gold rush, the online information business, or the expert knowledge business gold rush, where what we find is a very profitable business model, which is selling information, selling program mentorship courses, even service-based, high-ticket service-based business here. Very profitable, very scalable, but this is the price you need to pay. Now, some people, they have the expertise, they have the resources, they have the money, they have the network, and they can start a business like this. But for a beginner, there is a better way to do this. And the way we do it is we actually go at the tail of this digital gold rush, when everybody is trying to build these massive brands. Like in the gold rush era, everybody's looking for gold. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to sell picks, shovels, and mining equipment. And this way, they are taking care of all of this. We are just helping them with one particular issue that they have, and we're helping them make a lot of money. I'm going to show you how. But we don't need more clients. We just need one client and provide a great solution for the problems, for the one big problem they're having. And that is more than enough to make 5 figures. So how do we do it? There are multiple high income skills, but I'm going to recommend you 3 that are recession proof. And the reason why is very simple. It's because they live in these 2 departments. And these 2 departments are the most important departments for a business to grow, because the business constantly needs an input of cash. Marketing and sales is responsible for that. So these 3 high income skills are inside of those departments. These 2, copywriting and content creation for personal branding, are in the marketing department, and high-ticket closing are in the sales department. These are the highest leverage and most profitable skills. There are more, don't get me wrong, but if you ask me, I would recommend you these 3 because they live in this essential and key department, okay? Copywriting is on the side of marketing, is running the ads, is learning the skill of persuasion and influence at a mass scale. So if you love writing and you want to learn how to influence to the masses, copywriting is for you. You can run ads, you can offer email marketing services, you can write sales pages if you love that type of stuff. On the other hand, content creation is more the creative side. So if you're a creative, you love the world of ideas, you love coming up with ideas, searching for ideas, connecting the dots, outlining content, creating content strategy, editing, helping someone record content. A lot of brand strategists started as editors. If you're a creative, this is a great high income skill for you. This is not supposed to be, oh, you're going to sell your skills as an editor. No, you can start there. But content creation for personal branding is you orchestrating the entire content creation strategy for a personal brand. The third one is high-ticket closing. The last conversation a potential high-ticket client has before converting into a client, before turning into a client, is a meeting with a high-ticket closer. Okay, and these meetings, essentially what you do as a high-ticket closer is you become a filter. You have a conversation, you filter the good fits from the bad fits for the program, Every company would have a specific criteria, and then you offer the solution to the right fits, and the percentage that are in alignment, you enroll them, you collect the payment, and you onboard them into the service, into the program, and that's all you do. You just take care of these meetings. You do the enrollments, you handle the enrollments in behalf of a company, you're bringing the business owner back their time, and you're helping them make sales every single day. And the reason why it's called closing is because you don't have to sell anything. They come to the call already interested in working with the personal brand. If high ticket closing is too daunting or for whatever reason, it's like, okay, I love talking with people, I love helping people, but is there a ladder here? Yes, you can start as an appointment setter, for example. So you have your high income skill, you get your one client, and then you just onboard the client, and then you just focus on delivering results to that client. That's it. And that's how you can get to 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K per month with just one simple one client business model. Why this works for beginners? Because it's simple. It's one skill and it's one client. And the simpler it is when you get started into entrepreneurship, the higher the likelihood that you succeed. It's easier to keep it consistent because you don't have to be learning new things all the time. It's just mastering one of these skills. And it has less risk. You don't have to invest money on ads. You don't need to manage team members. Less things to put up front. It's less riskier. It's much, much more safer. That's why it's one of the safest paths to be able to make 5 figures per month. Now, what do you need to be able to get started with a high income skill and with this one client business model? You need internet connection and you need a laptop, of course. You need to be able to speak English because the biggest opportunity is in the English market right now, especially in the US market. The next thing is you need to have a good degree of the skill set. You don't need to be LeBron James, okay, but you need to be decent. Doesn't matter the skill that you pick. I went with high ticket closing. So if we're talking about high ticket closing, you need to have a minimum viable level of closing skills so that when you speak with this client, this business owner can tell, okay, you're better than me at doing this. Yes, let's partner up. And then you need a client. That's all you need to be able to start monetizing this skill. If you don't have it, first you need to learn it, then you can monetize it. Here is the real mindset shift when it comes to the one client business is not making millions. That's not the goal. The goal is to get from where we're at to a new baseline. It's to establish a new baseline. It's to get to a place where you don't have to worry about financial stress. You don't have to worry about time constraint. And now you are your own boss. You don't have to have a one client business for a decade or for 5 years. You might want to run it for 2 years. So here's what we're doing really. This is going from zero, whatever the situation is for you that you don't like, to a place where now you're making 10, 20, 30K per month, 40K per month, and maximizing this one client business model, generating more income, more freedom, and prepping yourself and using as a stepping stone for whatever that comes next here. Going from struggling, surviving to a place where you're like, I am good here. I'm prepping myself, I'm continuing to develop myself, and I'm in a place where I can already enjoy what I'm doing. And then from there, from a place of purpose, from a place of impact, you can jump into your next thing. That's really the goal here, and it really, really worked for me. I tried 2 years trying to do this, and I suffered a lot. And when I just did this transition, in less than 5 months, I was already doing 5 figures per month. And in my first year as a full-time high ticket closer, I got to 20K per month with this one client business model. So what is next? Well, first of all, you just need to stop consuming and start creating for yourself. Meaning start putting in the work, start taking action. Biggest thing that I've seen so far, especially from the people that got started back in the days with me and where they are now, is the ones that are ahead are the ones that we decided to start and take action. Put aside procrastination, put aside perfectionism, and just start, because the best way to learn and to grow is by doing. So don't wait until you feel that you're good enough. You're never going to be good enough. You're never going to feel ready. Just start. And just simply your first clients with this one client business model, your first 2-3 clients, just take it as practice. That's it. Pick a skill, land a client, and focus on delivering results for this client. Your first client doesn't have to be your last client. Now, from here, there are 2 paths. Path A is doing it on your own, just trying to figure everything on your own, using what's available for free, and just putting the pieces together. Path B is doing it with help, working with someone, having a mentor, having an environment. Okay. If you want to go with path B, you can use this channel, because in this channel, all we do is talk about high ticket closing and how to actually transition from where you are to where you want to be through high ticket closing. So if you want to go to path B, you have this channel. Check out the description box below and the rest of the videos. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.